pleasure to have this new partnership. For us, it's even better when we not only have a new partner, but also a company that, let's say, share the same values of FAO. This is quite important for us to choose the people we want to work with. And I think that also I can see by the program and the memorandum that there is a financial contribution also expected.
From our side, I think this is a great opportunity and the timing is perfect. This is the light of the year by the United Nations. It's also the light of the soil. So what better to start a partnership between somebody that's helped the world to use the soil better and one company that helps the world to use light in a better fashion. Light use about 20% of the world's electricity, and it's a necessity for people in order to not be limited to the daylight. That means when we provide man-made light, the children can educate themselves in the evening hours when they are not working, which they are in many countries. Okay. I think we were making your mentions in your close-up.
Well, first of all, this agreement means that we have an organization that shares the same values as our light, and we do, and that we believe that sustainability is at the core of our heart, and whatever we do should be sustainable. And when we talk about light, man-made light being important, it is of course because it gives mankind control over time. That means that people can educate themselves, not just when the sun is up, but also in the evenings. It means that we can provide light in streets, and that increases the safety. People feel much more safe when there's light, and there is less crime when there is light, of course. So they are, in our mind, man-made light is a human right and should be treated as such. And what we can do is, of course, now we can provide light also in the Western world at much lower energy usage. And that opens up, of course, the possibility to provide light to the rest of mankind without actually using more energy than today. We can do it to the total population of the world with a lot less energy than we use today. The risk we have if we don't do agriculture in a sustainable way is that we export problems. We export crops or chemicals around the world that basically reduce our ability to have a sustainable society. And I think FAO is an excellent organization that tries to solve the problem where they arise, and then we can instead export solutions. And that sounds much more attractive to me.
I think it's very important that FAO reaches out, because we work very closely with FAO as member states. But as we all know, national states can do a lot, but they cannot do everything. You need the whole society. So this is why you need to start working in a very concrete way with all stakeholders. That includes, of course, private companies, civil society in its many various forms, and also academia. Because then you get all the impulses and you can reach truly common solutions. Well, we are open for partnerships, and we're very happy with the partnership here, because it really shows one thing that we feel very strongly about in Sweden, being at the technological advance, while at the same time using resources in a very economic and sustainable way. And this is something every government in Sweden actively tries to promote. We have a slogan in Sweden which is actually bruka utan att förbruka, which means use but without using up, i.e. being sustainable and making it understandable for everybody. And since we know that most things in our societies are interconnected. For instance, agriculture. If you give antibiotics to the animals, it will be in the urine that comes into the fields and can go into the water stream, and that can have repercussions on people and animals again. So you have to find a way not to do these things. And it can be a win-win solution if you are more economic with, for instance, antibiotics, with fertilizer, you have a better climate, it costs less for the farmer, and you have better health for everybody. So this is some of the things that we actually try to promote and work for.
Well, we are trying to, how to put it, we would like to, by being sustainable in our actions, be able to help FAO developing their mission in the world. I think sustainability is important in all aspects today. With resources being scarce in the world, I think everybody needs to work towards a sustainable action in whatever they do, whether it's private life, in business, whatever. We don't put any limitations on what the money can be used for. We think that FAO is probably better positioned than we are to understand where the money can be used. But we like to, I think what we have seen so far is the type of products that we would like to support.
Okay, and what kind of projects are these?
The ones that we are looking at now are projects that are linked to small scale farming projects in one way or the other, whether it's energy, education, or ways to help people farm better.
Well, I think this agreement in a way is a very tangible evidence of how clean energy can support food security and agricultural development and rural livelihoods. So I think it's one way, and this is part of FAO's mandate. It just illustrates, because energy is very important for food security. It's needed at every stage of the agri-food chain. It also influences, energy prices influence food prices, and so they are closely linked, energy needs and food needs. And so for me, this is a very good opportunity. And also it's energy being used by FAO in the way that FAO sees the best way to use it. And if I may, the first ideas that we have, very concrete ideas, is to complement some work that FAO has done with small fisher folks communities in Guinea-Bissau, where we supply them with solar fridges to keep the fish after the fish that they don't sell at the market. They can keep it in these fridges, and so it reduces food losses. It's also good because they save money. Otherwise, they would have to pay a lot of money to other people. Now it's their fridge. And so the first use that we will make of that money is to build a solar water pump next to the fridge to help clean around the fridges when they manipulate the fish. So this, for me, epitomizes, it's food security, it's energy security, one serving the other, reducing food losses. So that's one very concrete example. Another one is maybe develop a pilot solar dryer to dry food in collaboration with the West African Renewable Energy and Energy Efficiency Agency as part of a bigger training program that they have. Again, something very concrete, very doable. So that's what we do in the field, but also there's an opportunity because Oralight very generously would provide pro bono support with all their knowledge in terms of clean energy. So this could also be used to support the already ongoing efforts of FAO in becoming more green. So also working on how to be more efficient in the lighting systems, headquarters, decentralized offices, maybe installing later on, let's say, solar panel in 1 or 2 offices in Africa, that FAO has. So these are very concrete activities that we see.